Sveiki, čia Žaismo DNR ir aš Artūras ir mes esame Gamescom 2014, kur žiūrime žaidimą Project Cars kartu su kūrybiniu direktoriu Andy Tudor. Hello Andy.
Hi there.
So, first question of course which is very interesting for me is this game was built by you and community. When you read your press releases, it feels like you consider that community is like 50% of the team.
Yeah.
And so you have a lot of feedback from the community. Which of like, I don't know, suggestions do you value most, or should I ask otherwise, which of the suggestions you found most surprising and yet you put it in the game?
Well, I mean, I think because the community have been involved from day one, like we had like a bold vision for the game, which is very ambitious. You know, we want to be a credible competitor to Forza and Gran Turismo, and there are certain features that we like want to get to, definitely. And when we presented those to the community, like some of those features either didn't resonate with like the gamers that like the community guys that were involved, or there were some things where they really went with it and they were like, oh my god, this is amazing, how about this, how about this, how about this, how about this, you know, things like that. So I think on a day-to-day basis, like, you know, our forums are full of interesting ideas, things like that, and obviously we need to kind of filter them out and things like that. But like, yeah, I mean, they've been involved with absolutely everything in terms of like the handling of the game, so like they've been able to test the game since day one, as we were saying. Features in terms of like, actually I want to be able to move my driving seat forward and backward, like I don't like the shaking effects of the camera and things like that, can I turn them off? I've got a wheel, like is it going to support this wheel, for example? As well as other things like I want to see this car in the game, or actually are you going to get to this motorsport or something like that. So, you know, they've been involved in absolutely everything. There's more than I can think of right now, but like it's very much been, when you said 50%, like I mean we have 80,000 people compared to just the like 100 of us, so like we're far outweighed by the community, so it's more like 98% of that is community driven.
Okay, and this game won't have any customization for the cars, I mean like tuning, body tuning.
You mean upgrades? And
no, the additional details to add yours.
Oh no, so there's no visual customization in the game. On PC you'll be able to actually paint your own liveries, things like that, and then put those into the game. But yeah, like all the cars have got pre-made liveries, things like that. There is tuning in the game, so there's like a pretty deep tuning mechanic in the game, allowing you to change absolutely everything there and save it to either specific tracks or groups of tracks as well. But yeah, there's no upgrading of the cars. You know, we're recreating a lot of motorsports, and therefore there are strict regulations for those motorsports, and therefore you need to kind of like make sure that the cars adhere to those regulations as well. And also get, you know, cars like the Pagani Huayra are as amazing as they can ever be, right? You know, so in terms of being able to like upgrade them or put a different spoiler on that car or whatever, you know, it's just not quite what we want to focus on.
And you were talking about the possibility to recreate the Le Mans race, like 24 hours. I didn't quite get, I was sitting quite far away. Is it a possibility, or are you actually trying to do something like that?
Yeah, no, so we've got the Le Mans 24 license, and we've got the Le Mans 24-hour location as well. And due to the fact that we've got dynamic time of day and weather as well, it means that you can actually run the race in 24 hours of real time. Obviously you can accelerate that as well if you want, but you can run the actual race with actual cars that run on the Le Mans 24-hour as the real race drivers do as well.
And you can just save it at any point and just continue, or you have just to sit out it and it's a real endurance race?
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, how about you should get your friends round. So this is a great opportunity, right? You know, get your friends round to your house, set it up to do it in real time, 24 hours, and then do what they do in real life of like, you know, having drivers like do different stints. Like that would be a great social experience for you and your friends. I'm sure you can have a few drinks as well, and like that'd be amazing. Yeah. So yeah, we highly encourage people to actually do that. Yeah.
That's great. And now about the VR technology, you showed that Oculus Rift is here, and what about Morpheus?
Yeah, so we are supporting Project Morpheus as well as Oculus Rift. We can't really talk about Project Morpheus at the moment, but everything that I've said ever about Oculus Rift, like, certainly applies to Project Morpheus as well. It's amazing VR experience for racing games in particular. As I said, like, you know, all the data is coming directly towards your eyes. It gives you a great sense of depth. It helps you know when the corner, you know, when you should be braking for the next corner. People find themselves like tilting their head into the turns as well. You can actually move your head in and actually see all the detail on the dashboard. Look behind you, see out the back window. Like, look at the side window, see all the rain droplets coming down the side. It's phenomenal, yeah. And considering like the jump in graphical fidelity from like that last generation to this generation maybe hasn't been as noticeable as like the previous generation before it. Things like Oculus Rift, Project Morpheus, 12K gaming, things like that are the next, like, the new cool thing for gamers out there.
And well, what about sun? I mean, on the Oculus VR, it makes almost impossible to drive when you have like sunbeam going from the corner. Is there any ideas, you know, I don't know, to add the option to just raise your hand or just pull that thing from or
oh, you mean pull the thing down?
Yes.
That'd be interesting. Yeah. You know, but when you said there, like, it's really difficult, well, that's because it adds an extra layer of challenge. You know, we don't just put features in there just to make them look pretty. We put them in there to, add more gameplay, add more strategy, add more challenge to you. So that goes with everything. Like you said, sunlight there. Yeah, when you turn around a corner, it like blinds you, glares you in the eye. And yeah, you're going to have to deal with that, I'm afraid. You know, you're going to have to kind of know how to deal with that as you're driving around. Similarly, when there's really heavy fog, like, you won't be able to see the upcoming corner anymore. I'm sorry, we're not going to put arrows there to tell you where it is. Like, it's up to you to know the course inside out in dry, clear conditions, and therefore then take it to the next level of challenge in the fog, at night time, in the rain, with thunderstorms, you know, and that makes it more challenging for the people out there.
But basically what I meant is that I played the same track on PlayStation and Oculus.
Right.
And on PlayStation the sun is just beautiful. Yeah, it gives you some shades on the track, so it's slightly difficult to see maybe exact how the corner goes, but on Oculus it just blinds you.
Yeah, well, but remember, on Oculus you can move your head away, so you can kind of go, oh, like that, and drive blind.
That's what I did. But
Perfect. We're not going to change that. That sounds amazing. So.
And what about multiplayer?
Yeah.
What kind of multiplayer will you offer?
So we've got a number of different types of multiplayer. The first is obviously like competitive multiplayer. On PC, it's as many as the actual track allows, so that could be 32 to 64 players. On consoles, like, we're trying to get as many as possible, obviously they're targeting 16 to 20 at the moment. But yeah, that's one form of like multiplayer. You can actually join in progress sessions. So if I start a qualifying session, people will be able to jump into my qualifying session, set a time, and then we'll ultimately all go on to actually the race ahead. You can play privately via invite only. You can arrange a game with just friends, so any friend that's on your friend list can actually jump in and play with you. You can do public sessions, so you can play with actually the main public, but also we've been community driven so far with the way we've produced the game and developed it and stuff. And it would be hypocritical of us not to launch the game with even more community features as well. So next week there'll be a big blog article talking about a thing called the Driver Network. And the Driver Network is a suite of community features out there. So you can play asynchronous time trial, for example, with being able to download the ghosts of your friends and ghosts of other people on the leaderboards as well. You can have all your stats tracked in the game of like, what's your favorite motorsport that you play? What's your affinity with certain cars? What's your signature car that you keep going to and keep winning with? What's your favorite track location that you go to? What's your online performance? And what's your online reputation as well? Because that's very important. We don't want people going online and like smashing into everyone all the time and creating like yellow flag situations or rage quitting out of the game and things like that. So you'll be able to track that as well. You'll be able to compare those profiles in a driver profile face-off. So you'll be able to see compare those with another player or another friend. So yeah, there's many more community events to take part in. Go to YouTube, our YouTube channel. We have a thing called Driver Network Highlights, which is the best moments from like the community out there as well. So yeah, there's a whole load of multiplayer online social features supported in the game.
Do you plan to run some of your own championships? I mean, set the goals, the targets for online players to compete?
Yeah, that is something definitely we have in the back of our minds, something we are investigating, something we have plans for, but nothing we can talk about right now, I'm afraid. So.
I see. And the final question is in regard of yesterday's announcements of share play for PlayStation. Do you know already if you are going to take advantage of that, and how will it play with Project Cars?
Again, it's something that was announced a while back at E3. The idea of being able to hand the control over to somebody else and let them play for you. It's something that we definitely want to kind of have a look at as well. I mean, certainly you might find a certain track way too tough for something like that to play, or how about it would be perfect for that endurance race that you were actually talking about right there. So it's something we would investigate, but again, we can't talk about it right now. All right.
Thank you very much for your time and for your answers, and best of luck with the project.
Thank you very much.